Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl in your face when you're sleeping. Turning their hunts into fights of survival, animals often land in the wrong territories and struggle in the jaws of predators, from brutal fights to unpredictable comebacks, with these fights never really ending well. Hang on to see the animals that messed with the wrong opponents. Disguising predator, California. Losing all its hope to run from the red octopus chasing it in the shallows, the crab accepted its defeat and realized that it had no chance left to escape from the tentacled predator. But that's when things twisted a bit and ended the prolonged chase. A harbor seal intervening in the middle pounced at the octopus, which, well, don't we already know how it ended? The octopus met its fate while the red crab stood there unharmed. Hammerhead hunts stingray. Overestimating its deceiving abilities, the stingray decided to uncover itself in front of the lurking predator. The stingray, although was disguised in the sandy bottom, it was still visible to the hammerhead hovering over it. Hammerheads have this incredible ability which allow them to detect its prey even from a distance. So, coming out of its hiding where the stingray anticipated that it would outrun the hammerhead in moments, it instead became the prey after the shark locked its wings with a strong, sharp bite and completely immobilized the ray. Penguins hunt. Guarding the shores of the Antarctic and waiting impatiently for its favored meal to arrive, leopard seals haunt the water with their ruthless predatory techniques. It all begins when the Gentoo penguins, known for their incredible speed reaching 200 miles per hour, return to the rugged shores. Although with their high jumps, they often get lucky to ditch the leopard seals. Sometimes, failing to outrun the stalking hunter, they get caught in the ferocious jaws. But don't consider it the end of the miserable journey, because by thrashing them in the water, they are often seen playing with their meal before feasting on it. Orca hunts whale calf. The orca pod, determined to catch the whale calf at any cost, is increasing its efforts to separate the juvenile from its mother. This unprecedented incident occurred off the coast of Baja, California, where a group of orcas were seen stalking a whale calf, protecting it from the impending danger. Although the mother whale tried to fend off the orcas, all her efforts were in vain, as they seemed quite consistent, and at last made the whale abandon the calf and rush for its own safety. Seal versus shark. Being the ace hunters they are, sharks are believed to knock off anyone who dares to stand in their way. But let's not just count seals in it, because recently filmed in the Pacific, a shark was seen struggling for its life during an intense duel, which continued for some time in the shallows, but ended in a way that no one would have anticipated. Yes! With a shark in the mouth of a seal! Octopus ends shark. I think it's time to revise the old theories which projected sharks as the beasts of the underwater, because now, losing to the seals and here being defeated by an octopus, I must say, they're not quite the fighter they used to be. A camera spotted a shark floating near the octopus and feared for the octopus's safety. They witnessed something else. It was the shark under the mighty suckers of a giant Pacific octopus who clutched it until it was immobilized. Moray eel octopus. It took only seconds for the eel to come out and finish the octopus swimming around it. But that's not what happened here, because as soon as the eel grasped the octopus, it launched the inky weapon to obscure the predator's vision, which luckily worked and forced the stalker to yield its grip and let it go. Even though the octopus lost one of its arms during the sudden strike, it was all worth it in the end, as it freely went back in the wild. Hammerhead tiger shark. A group of fishermen was hauling a massive hammerhead shark caught off the coast of Louisiana. They did not realize that there was a tiger shark creeping up on their catch until it made itself visible with the intention to siege the hammerhead. Well, because being the voracious hunters they are, tiger sharks never really miss an easy target. So, charging the hammerhead several times and even breaking the fishing line with its mighty jaw, it made a successful final attempt and swam away with the catch in its mouth. Mantis ends octopus. The octopus made the biggest mistake of his life while hunting for shellfish when it targeted a mantis shrimp. Because with no other similarities with a shrimp other than the appearance, it turned out to be a quite aggressive opponent for the octopus, guarding its grounds at first when it couldn't restrain the octo-handed. It launched the first strike and pitched the octopus with its hammer claws. Apparently, that was not enough for the shrimp, so it carried on with a bullet-like hints and increased its agony, eventually making it recede. Orcas hunt 7-gill shark. Developing a new and entirely strange behavior, orcas were seen hunting 7-gill sharks, captured in the South African waters following the discovery of dozens of shark carcasses washing up on the beach with their livers cut out. A pod of orca was spotted hunting for another shark in the sea. Initially crowding the gill shark, one of them then lifted the tail and smashed hard on its back to taper off its movement, and then tearing it open, they munched on the shark's liver. Eel swallows shark. Emerging from the reef, an eel clutched a small shark inside its mouth and began to swallow it. Moray eels are called the clever hunters for a reason. They usually hide in the corals and only sneak out when there's a potential meal floating around. This time it was a shark that, although appeared as an easy hunt, later turned into the eel's misery and ended with the eel losing to the shark as it came out from the strong jaws, safe and alive. Petrel versus penguin raft. It all started when the petrel zeroed down a chick and landed in front of the migrating penguins. So, beginning the strikes, it eventually triggered the entire waddle and forced them to form a defensive circle. But it did not seem to be working, as the petrel kept sitting there, waiting for them to lose their ground. Until the real boss arrived, the Adelie penguin who guarded the group. It did not take a second for the petrel to realize that its game is now over. Polar bear fails. The bear is intended to find a loophole in the wall of walrus which they have formed against him. That's not an easy task though, as closely standing together and with their tusks sharp enough to give a severe bruise, the bear must be cautious while dealing with them. But this might be its only chance to feed the empty gizzard, and clearly not wanting to miss it, the bear carries on with the efforts. Here, with the walrus almost inside the ferocious jaws, deceives it again, leaving the bear with no meal. Hammerhead eats stingray. Okay, I agree with you guys on this. It was indeed an obvious catch for the hammerhead. Well, because what else can you expect from a shark that finds its favored meal swimming around? It happened in the aquarium of New Jersey, where the people witnessed the hammerhead feeding on a stingray. But expecting it to be the end of the poor ray, the onlookers were stunned when it fought off the shark and escaped at last. Trapped octopus. One thing is for sure, anyone who would dare to mess with the crabs will have a similar ending. An octopus intended to get at least one crab from the migrating group of spider crabs instantly met its fate when two of the aggressive crawlers spotted the octopus. With the rest of the squad joining in the vicious task, they rip open the octopus using their sharp pincers. Although whether they ate it or not remains unknown. Crawling over it from all sides, they made sure the tentacled beast learned its lesson. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. Hunting seals normally, polar bears struggle to find a meal during the summers. That's what happened here with a starving bear while it was searching for a meal. Luckily, he did find a seal, only it was guarded by a pod of orca. The orcas actually used the seal as bait to attract the polar bear. The plan worked well for them as the bear fell in the trap. So, surrounding it, the orcas began the feast as the bear met its brutal end. See you next time!